Okay, so we're gonna go into the bottom of this thing. First thing I'm gonna do is put the screws back into the back of the control panel. And then I'm gonna unplug the water and unplug it. Disconnect the water from the machine. And of course, first I'll just go ahead and unplug it. Okay, it's unplugged now. The water's been disconnected. Let's see, it's off here now. I don't know if you can see that. And the drain pipe will go with us. And now we've got a little work to do. We've got a little water in here we got to get rid of. I won't bore you with watching that. I'll be right back. Okay, we've turned the machine over on its side, actually on its front. That's the way to go. I dumped the water out. Had my wife hold it at an angle so I could get more of the water out. Try to get out as much as I could. Make as little mess on the floor as I could, but of course we're in the basement here and it has a nice drain in it. So I don't really have to worry about it. Here we can see the bottom. Everything's disconnected. I did unplug. And connected the water. Got the drain pipe. Everything's good to go. Let's take a closer look at the bottom here. And here we can see the drain coming out. Going over to what I believe is the diverter valve, which goes to the left to this recirculation tube, to the right to the drain pipe. First thing I'm going to do is open up that little tube from the drain and see if I got a bunch of plastic in there. See if we can get in here. Squeeze this little clamp, pull it off. Let's see if we can get this tube out of here. It's coming off. Oh, and look what we got there. We got plastic in the diverter valve. I know some went through. Maybe it's just holding it in place, or maybe it broke it. We'll take a look. But I think we're going to want to go down here too. See how much of this I can do one-handed. Yep. Let's see here. I got this clamp off. Let's see if we can take this tube off the whole way. That guy's attached in there. Okay. Let's come back to him, but we're going to take a closer look. I'm going to take a closer look here in the diverter valve. See what we got. See what I can take out my fingers. Look at that. There was a big piece I found on the floor. That did not come out of the diverter valve. Look at that. Nice big chunk. This was a lot of fun. I'm going to go take a closer look in there. And I'll come back in a minute. Okay, I've gotten out of there what I can with my fingers. There's still a little bit more in there, but it's further in the valve, and I'm going to have to take off either side of the valve, see if I can clear it out some more, and then we'll find out if it's damaged beyond repair. Here's what I've gotten out so far from our nice little comforter. I don't know if you can see this. Got the light. That's what's come out so far. A little bit of debris, a little bit of lead, a little bit of plastic. Actually some surprisingly big chunks. Surprised the washer made it as far as, or the diverter valve made it as far as it did. Okay, I'll be right back. Okay, I've loosened the clamp, moved the clamp out on the recirculation tube. I'm going to get out the drain tube. I'm going to have to take this little white clamp out and then get the clamp out of the way and take care of it. And then I see some more plastic on either side of the diverter valve that I'm going to have to take care of. And hopefully I'll be able to do that once I get this tube and this tube taken off. I'm going to work on taking this out and be right back. I better let you know where I was. I haven't gotten much further. I was taking that clamp apart. Needed a screwdriver to pull it apart. It's got a little tab on it. And I'm ready to take this side, the exhaust tube out. And I also unplugged the diverter valve. You can see the cord there. I marked them to make sure I knew which way they went. I don't know if it really matters because I don't know what I'm doing, but there you go. I'll be back. Okay, the diverter valve is out. It was in there like this, and then this tube. And it took some finagling. It's kind of tight back there by the recirculation tube. But it's out now. See if I can get on it. Take a look at it. It's got this little plastic to protect it. Of course, it wasn't protected from the plastic from the washing machine that was eaten up by the comforter. You can see it on both sides, unfortunately. So I'm going to go away and see if I can get that out. Of course, it may be a waste of time because it just may be toast. I may have to order a new one. But let's see what we got. If we can get it out and it isn't damaged too far, then we've got a machine that works and I don't have to wait for parts. Well, I'm back again. Here we got the diverter valve. Let's see if we can see inside this beast. Let's see if we can do it this way. Look at that. No white plastic. No white plastic. No white plastic. It's able to dig it all out with the tools of the trade. Most important, next to duct tape, is of course the paper clip, which was helpful. The nail, especially the head of the nail, was helpful to grab onto it and where my finger couldn't or the screwdriver couldn't. And then one piece I was able to actually grab with the pliers, the needle nose pliers. And here's what came out of the inside of the diverter valve. And it looks like it's in pretty good shape. So we're going to put it back together and see what we come up with. See if we're lucky and it works. I've taken a look inside the tubes, the drain, to see if there's any more plastic. I don't believe there is, but there may be some hidden away up above where I couldn't see. So we'll put it together and try it out. Worst comes to worst, we'll be taking it apart again. Or we'll be buying some parts. Hopefully I didn't hurt this. Maybe there's an easier way to clean this out, but I believe I got it. Looks like maybe I could have taken it apart, but I stopped short of that. So now I'll be back because I'm going to take a look at putting it back together. Okay, we're going to put the diverter valve back in all the tubes. Make sure we have it in the right orientation. Exhaust tube. We got the. This is the bottom. I know you can't see. This is the bottom down here. I'm going to put that in like this. This side over to the circulation and the drain. I'm going to work on that and I'll be right back. Diverter valve is back in place. I just need to plug in the connections, put all the springs back in place, and also clamp the exhaust hose back up with this little doodad here that's connected to the bottom of the tub, the vanes there. I'm going to do that and we'll see if we can get it working. The clamps are back in place on all three sides of the diverter. The main exhaust is back in place. Putting these clamps back in. First one holding the exhaust. And then this second one up here that I loosened just to make life easier. That's back in place. I'll take a final look around. All three. Get everything back together there. That final clamp in place. Here, everything looking good. That's tight. Everything's tight. We're going to lift this back up. Maybe dump a little water in it from the sink and see if we can get a rinse. We're going to put it back in diagnostic mode and get it to work. See if we can see this thing running, pumping some water out. I'm going to lift it back up, move it over closer to the sink, dump some water in it, and see if we can get the valve working.